All right, this is it. Are we here?
We are here.
We are live.
We are live. And Matt, hello. You're all alone.
I am. I'm all on my lonesome today. Michael was frantically trying to get himself organised for the live stream. He actually said to me, "Oh, you know, Matt, if you're 10 or 15 minutes late," because I hadn't had my lunch. And I said, "You know what, Michael? I can get it done. I'm confident I can sort it out." But I just realised I don't have my laptop. I'm not going to be able to read any comments.
So it's literally just going to be me reading all these lovely comments.
I hope so, and I hope you keep on top of it today, Connor. I don't want anyone feeling left out. This is what I love about the live streams, is interacting with the viewers.
Absolutely, I agree. We've got a whole bunch of people here. Hello, thank you all for jumping on in nice and early. It's really good. I asked earlier today what everybody's favourite part of their week has been.
Oh, right.
If anybody has a favourite part of their week that they want to bring up, please hit me with that. Do you have any particular questions, Matt, that you'd love to hear from the chat?
Where are you tuning in from? And have you added to your stack this week? And if so, what have you added? And how's the sound quality? Do we sound good?
Yeah, we've got some preamps to boost the audio game, but it looks like I'm having some trouble.
Oh, okay. You're normally the most consistent.
Yeah, normally, but I figured out. Oh, yep. So I figured it out. Don't worry about it. We just had the channel off. So yeah,
okay.
we are doing really well. We got we got some improved sound. Hopefully it's all good. Blue Banded Bees is in the house. G'day, Blue Banded Bees. Simon
Hello.
Bickerton is there. John Smith. G'day, John Smith.
Oh,
Phil
and
T.
the straggler.
We've got a straggler
Decided to
coming
make
in.
an appearance. Remember when you said,
I'm here.
yeah, when you said, "Hey Matt, if you need an extra 15 minutes, that's fine."
He says he's here and then he walks
Just poured water
straight
on
out.
myself. This is live television.
Yeah.
I've just absolutely made a goose of myself. Like, I need you here to straighten things out, mate.
So I'm not sure if any of the viewers can
Take him
tell,
anywhere.
but it has been a very hectic day today.
It has indeed.
We have finally got some microphone upgrades. So earlier my microphone was turned off. Thank you, Stacey, for letting me know. Thank you, Take Profits. Appreciate it, guys. It's all good now.
Is Michael on? Is everybody live?
Everybody is on. We can hear.
Okay. Where
Do you
are
know-
people tuning in from, Connor?
Do you know what I've forgotten?
I've forgotten my laptop as
My
well.
laptop. So we're going to leave this to Connor, and he's going to run all of this for a moment, while Matt and I go and get organised to get our laptops together.
Work the crowd for a minute, Connor.
All
It's
right.
actually fairly important that we get that.
All right. G'day, everybody. It's going to be a lovely, very interesting start to the stream. The boys have forgotten their laptops. Can you believe it? We got DP Roll X 222 coming in from South Korea. Love South Korea. Hopefully the weather's nice there. It's getting warmer there, I think. EE, hi guys, and everyone, New South Wales. Yo, shout out to my New South Wales friends. Have we got any Queenslanders in the house? I love any Queenslanders out there. We've been talking about me being a Queenslander for a little bit. So I did see some comments last time that there were some Queenslanders out there, and I'm very much missing Queensland as we're getting into winter. As you probably know, not a fan of winter.
Are you kidding me?
Oh no, I'm not kidding you. Dead serious. MSKR111 from South Australia. Nice.
How many live streams have we done, boys?
How many?
We still haven't got this. Haven't got ourselves organised.
Hey, look,
Space here.
it's improved a lot, and we've made some changes, and we've adapted. So it's getting there. I think the biggest thing is, and I said this to Michael earlier today. I said, I need you in my studio at 1:30, an hour before we go live, because we need to talk about it, plan it, what we want to talk about, what we want to get across.
Tap into all the free time that we've got to just sort of relax and.
I can't believe that you...
And he laughed at me.
Yeah, what are you stressed about?
It's not that I'm stressed. It's not that I'm stressed. It's just that, it'd be good if the presenters were here when the stream started.
There are a lot of
dear.
things that'd be nice to have, Connor.
That's right. I think we should introduce mandatory shoulder rubs before the...
What? Shoulder rubs?
Everyone's
Mate,
nice
I'm
and relaxed.
looking for a bit of a massage.
Oh, I see. All right. I didn't get you for a second there. Mick is from Crimeborn. That's you mean cram?
Yeah.
Cram.
Oh, I like that. That's funny.
It's all right. Queenslanders don't understand, mate.
Oh, hey, look, I've been here for long enough. I do get the suburbs in Melbourne. Need a Melbourne meetup dinner, says Blue Banded Bees. Yes, we do. And Michael, can I say that we are planning one?
Are we?
Yeah, you can say it.
I can say it. I'm just going to keep.
I'm not sure how
saying
much
stories.
fact there is to
Yeah.
that, but you can say it.
I'm just going to keep saying it until it happens, and I'll will it
Fair
into
enough.
existence by that. Sunshine Coast. What's Cole doing? That's where What's Cole is doing. He's hanging out on the Sunshine Coast. The first sunshine in a while. Wow. Someone asked me before, did I add anything to my stack? No, I didn't. I have been meaning to add, I almost added the Anubis coin. I very almost added the Anubis coin to my collection.
We have to be quick. I think we've sold out.
Yeah, I think we have.
I've just got scolded by Ruben in this store for attempting to sell 2.
Yeah.
He said, I think it was the last one that was sold this afternoon, under duress from Ruben.
All right, so that ship has sailed for me. There seems to be a lot of. I have seen some silver arcs. What's
Noah's Arcs.
Noah's Arcs, yeah. But what's their brand? It's a Scottsdale Mint one, isn't it?
It's Scottsdale Mint produce it, but it's stamped Armenian.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay. That's one I still want to add to my stack. I know I haven't yet. I'm a little bit too busy trying to herd cats. Isn't that right, gentlemen?
Yeah, it's a bit like that. Today's been particularly exciting. It's been nice.
Well, Matt, do you mind if I segue us into asking you about the phones and how's the week been?
Yeah, sure. It's been quite nice. We've got a little bit of extra assistance on the phones, which is nice. We've been lacking in Sylvia this week.
She has. So she's been on annual leave, sunning herself in northern climes, and having a good break. So if you're listening, Sylvia, I hope you had a great break. If you're not listening,
can't wait to have her back.
Yeah, she's been missed dearly.
Yeah, yep. So that'll be very nice to have her back.
What's been one of the biggest sellers this week, guys? Open up to the table. Is there anything that's gone out like in large numbers?
1 ounce gold.
1
1 ounce gold has been the talk of the town, as well as in the store. It's getting more and more difficult to keep up with I guess what you'd describe as the bread and butter type products. Like it's just, there's a lot of enthusiasm in the market, which is good to see, and it seems to be steady as well. It's not there wasn't a particular day where we had a bit of an uptick. It was, I feel, and Michael would know better than I would. He's looking at the books, but it feels like it's been steadily busy lately.
It has. But I'd say today's kind of has been the step up day. I don't know if it's just because of live streams or all running around in circles, but it feels like today we've all kind of been constantly behind the 8 ball trying to catch up that little bit more.
Yeah.
So.
But I will say, from my perspective, even though often it feels like we're chasing our tail, it does feel like we're making some solid progress, like some set progress and improving a lot of our processes.
Yeah, I certainly hope we are.
Yeah, now that you've upgraded you've got our Dynamite stick audio things.
The audio's improving.
Yeah,
we hope so.
Everything's exciting.
Yeah, exactly.
Taking you back to Connor's question, I think absolutely the 1 ounce gold's been a problem, but I actually think anything Perth Mint related has been a problem, and it's not anything other. I don't believe it's anything other than Perth Mint are actually shutting for 2 days next week.
Oh, really?
I don't know about the retail side, but definitely from the wholesale side, they're shutting because they're doing their stock take in time for the end of the financial year. It's that time. And so there are no deliveries going out. So they've actually slowed the deliveries going out already.
Right.
Even though there's nothing going out. I think it's Monday, Tuesday next week at all. So, the usual staples we keep in, like the 1 ounce Perth Mint cast bars, we don't have them, or we've got very few of them left. So it's putting that extra pressure on the other types of 1 ounce that we carry. So I think that's exacerbating the problem as well.
And buybacks as well.
Oh, yeah.
You're wiped out on buybacks. Usually we have a relatively, steady, flow or supply. But yeah, that's been absolutely cleaned out.
Yeah,
we are, very
and that's partly
thin on
your
the ground.
fault.
Well, look, I'm certainly not going shy away from it. I am very generous with the buybacks, much to the dismay of the lads in the shop. But when I come down to help out, I go the extra mile. I like to think. I want to see that extra smile from our customers when I come down to visit.
I don't think the guys are cranky with you. I think they're just going, crap, we've got nothing to sell the next guy who's going to ask in a minute. And
by which point in time, I'm back up on the phone. Or we're doing a live stream.
I've got to chime in. Sylvia is there. She said, "Thanks, guys. I'm always listening."
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
We've also got a couple of compliments coming through. Take Profits says, "Connor using Twitter perfectly. Well done. Nice tweet before reminding me about the live chat." Yes, I'm getting into the Twitter sphere and getting it happening. Thank you, Matt, for the push on the Twitter front.
I don't know how to use it myself, but I love pushing you to do new things, Connor.
Absolutely. We're a great team here, pushing everyone to be better. We also got Mostly Outdoors saying, "Got to say, gents, best audio to date. Thanks for continually working on this." Thank you, Mostly
Oh, wow.
Outdoors, for
That's
being
nice to
so
hear.
patient. That is a really, as you were saying, a really nice compliment. Thank you all for being patient with us. We're getting there.
Question on there that says, "What's on the counter?" Like
Yep.
on the bench or something, and I'm just trying to work it out myself.
Simon said, "Come on, boys, show us what's on the table before I get in the lift and come up."
So these are just these are exactly what they're advertised as. These are kangaroos, which I'm a bit surprised at because I didn't think we had any spares kicking around. These ones are kilo tigers. Is that going to stay?
Oh, delicate. And what have we got here?
Yeah, I'm not. Don't know how game I am to show that one.
I'll do it.
These are the
Yeah,
ones.
you
These
do
are the. Are they 10 kilo or 1
No,
kilo?
1 kilo.
They're 1 kilo.
1
sorry.
kilo.
Yeah, these are the ones that have been kicking around for a while. So
So they are previous years, and
Yeah.
there's at least 3 of them there, and I think I can
It's a
spy a
20
box underneath Connor's desk there.
It's a
got-
2014 koala.
Yeah, a few previous years kilo koalas, and that's looking close like it's wobbling.
Starting to sweat.
No,
It was already warm in here, but woo,
yeah.
And I actually thought this was a box of
dragons.
mother and babies.
Oh, you.
Oh, have they turned
what?
up?
What?
I didn't even know we were
Michael,
getting those.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
didn't want to tell anyone particularly that we were getting them. And EE, I just saw your name flick up on the monitor over there. I've got the email open, and as soon as we can get a word in edgeways, we'll scroll through the email questions, and hopefully we'll know yours while we're at it. We took when I say small delivery, we took a very small delivery of them earlier this week. So we've shot the footage for it. It's got to be trimmed up and released, and then we'll release them out into the wider world. But
Beautiful.
we did only get a small number.
Yep.
So,
Well, this is probably a good time to segue into all the emails that you've missed from the last couple
Yeah,
of
get
weeks.
cracking, Michael. What have you
Alrighty.
been doing, mate?
so this one's from Adam, and it says, "Just wanting to know what is your favourite coin series? Personally, your favourite, but also the best series for investment, not financial advice, of course." So, Matt.
That's an excellent question. My personal favourite series was the Triangular Shipwrecks.
Oh, from the Royal Australian
Yeah.
Mint. Yep.
I loved that. I like, as I'm sure people have grown to learn about me, anything that's a little out of the ordinary. And I thought that was really nice, the way that they used. So that triangular shape wasn't totally unique in a lot of ways. So the Royal Australian Mint would have had that shape for the Cook Islands $5 planchet.
Yep.
So the fact that they used that, not only did they use it in a clever way, they did the inverted title of the ship.
Yes.
So there was a
Yeah.
lot of, I think, subtle references in there that were interesting, and the historical significance to each of those wrecks. I think they hit the nail on the head with that one. But then, so that's my personal favorite, and then non-financial advice, just from what I've observed, the rectangular dragons seem to be a consistently popular
Yeah.
in the secondary market
Yeah.
series. So there you go. 2 thoughts. What about you, Michael?
So I like the Series 1 Perth Mint Lunar Series,
Right. Okay.
and I think it's massively undervalued.
Yep.
Because the Series 2 is worth far more than the Series 1. And
Okay.
I think that's a jib. And within the Series 1, I think there's a lot of fun to be had because they stopped making, like the half kilo, they stopped making that partway through Series 2. So,
Right.
like you can get these odd sizes in
Yeah.
particularly Series 1 and early Series 2. So they're actually my favourites. And particularly, believe it or not, the half-ounce silver, despite the fact that I
Right.
bang on about having a larger planchet or a
Yeah.
larger face to have
Yep.
detail. I love the half ounces.
Yep.
So that's kind of my favourite, if you like, is the Series 1 Perth Mint. And for investment wise, and again, not financial advice, but there's a couple of ones that I'd like. And I think the Series 1 is good for investment because I believe it's undervalued.
Yep.
And I agree with you on the rectangular dragons. I think that's not a bad one. But the other one I like for investment advice, not investment advice. The other one I like for investment is the Series 3 Platinum
Yeah.
Lunar.
Yep.
So because they're only making 5,000 of them, and I think investment-wise, I think they're a pretty coin because they usually use the gold design, which I usually like better. And yeah, they are so limited, and it's platinum, which everyone knows.
I was going to say, yeah, you're a bit of an enthusiast in that department.
So it ticks lots of my boxes, that
Yeah.
one. So that's probably what I'd nominate.
Of the Lunar series, I'm going to
Yeah.
dive in. I'm sure there's lots of questions, Connor, so I'm not going to eat up with my own questions. But of the Lunar series, do you have a preferred animal?
Sort of.
Go on then. Enlighten me.
I like the mouse, but
Okay.
I don't like the Series 3 mouse.
Okay.
But the Series 1 particularly, mouse I think is fantastic.
Yeah.
The ox, I really like the ox, not in Series 2. I think they dodgy the Series 2.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, I'm a bit like, there's not a animal that I like
Yeah.
the whole way through.
Yep.
But there are certain designs that really tick my box. I'm not a big dragon fan in the
Okay.
Lunar series. I know everyone goes nuts over that.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan. It doesn't... do
Little
it for me.
overrated, perhaps?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Particularly in Series 2, but that's a side issue. So I'm more of a... I like that kind of character in that design,
Yeah. Yep.
if that makes sense.
Yeah, good stuff. What do you got, Connor? Hit us
So-
with a
I've
question.
still got a string of emails to work through.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
If I can catch you off there.
Just quickly. Apparently, some people have literally come into the store asking for these coins that are on the desk right now. So, unfortunately, the coins. The coins are currently in use in a live stream, so they're not currently for sale. Is that correct?
Go
Michael?
on, Connor.
What?
This is live
Connor's
television.
been hiding them for
Yeah.
weeks under his desk.
Scoot down the
what
hall.
you need to do is get in the store and say, I want the stash under Connor's desk.
No, don't say that because I'm going to move them now. They're going to be moved under someone else's desk.
I'm glad that you're finally getting a bit of the blowback from these situations
Yeah.
you create. Normally, it's
Yeah.
exclusively on the phones, the emails,
On the
and in
sales
the in
team.
the store. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where we
This is
start
good.
saying, call 1-300 Ruben.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. The social media team is here to drive up interest in product. So that's literally what I'm doing there by putting those coins on
Fair
streams.
Yeah.
Sorry, what was your next email?
All right,
Michael?
so one from Greg. You better vet Connor's YouTube thumbnails. In the one below from a vid last week, it looks like you are decapitating a grizzly bear
Yep.
and enjoying it.
Jeez.
Would you enjoy decapitating a grizzly bear, Michael?
No.
Why not?
Oh, I'm a pacifist. There's stunned silence in the room.
Yeah.
That's the thumbnail. Just so
Oh,
they're
yeah,
on
that's
there.
I've
fair.
got a picture of it up on my
Yeah.
screen.
That
as well.
does look a little.
Perfect.
Yeah, it kind of did. Look, I actually really like the new thumbnails we're doing. It's it's a bit of fun.
Yeah.
Some
Fun
of those.
nails.
I like the one with you with very big lips. I thought that was very
Yeah. Very strange. Yep.
well,
Kissing
almost
babies.
lifelike.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. I like us on a plane. That's a good depiction of how I imagine we'll look traveling up to Sydney.
Yeah, that's right. Just look for the lips in the back of the plane. Mick Jagger, eat your heart out. All right, this one is from Gregory, aka Grimace. I have a question. If, when the Queen dies, would there be a potential premium or extra interest to collectors for bullion with her head on it that year? Likewise, would there be a premium for bullion with the next king, Charles or Willie, head on it as a first? Also, would that have an effect on coin series like the Tudor Beasts or Creatures of the North? Half the series with the Queen's head and the other half with the next regent. Come back to that second one first. What do you reckon on the first part of that question? Is it going to increase in value? We've kind of discussed this before.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't have thought so.
Yeah,
and
I
I
don't
think
think so
you
either.
only need to look back historically and see that you could take an example that comes to mind is something like the Sovereign series. There's no additional significance added to the transition of a monarch.
Yeah, so
It's
George
not
and Edward
exactly.
and
It's
that
not.
sort of
I've
stuff,
got the last George V sovereign. It's a big deal. A lot of the numismatic value is often tied to mintages, which often has little to no bearing to the monarch or whether or not there's a transition. So
Yeah.
it's a matter of the supply and demand. So on those low demand years, you'll see a huge premium just because there are fewer of them. It doesn't necessarily have a bearing on whose effigy appeared on a particular coin. And like we said before, the amount of coins with Elizabeth II, I would hazard a guess, she would have the largest presence on coins of any monarch ever.
Well, I mean, she's been the longest reigning monarch. That's probably a
fairly
safe bet, that one.
Yeah, so I guess, and there'll be an outpouring. I'm certain that mints and particularly private companies that produce commemorative coins, places like Downey's, will already have the design ready to rock and roll. And as soon as it gets announced, you'll see an outpouring
Lizzie in a coffin.
Yeah, well, maybe not to that extent. Maybe a little more tasteful, but there'll be no end to the tribute coins and things that get rolled out, and so the market will be awash with them. If anything, it could go the other way, and they won't be very collectible because they'll be so. So
A dime a dozen.
that's the word I'm looking for. Thank you, Connor.
I'll almost guarantee, though, there will be one series, and it'll be the one that you don't expect,
Yeah.
that will, be the one to grab.
Yep, and it will not financial advice, totally just speculative. You're right, it'll be one that gets overlooked because...
It'll be the one that everyone hates and
Exactly,
looking at as dodgy as.
Yep.
And that'll be the one that goes through.
I saw that with a... this is slightly off topic, but I saw that with a particular Rolex. I forgot which one it was. It was an older one from the 70s or something. It was like a hot pink. And it was laughed at, and now it's one of the most difficult ones to get because it was tie-dye or hot pink or something obscene for the time.
Like a neon.
Yeah,
like an
it didn't
80s
sell
neon.
well at all, but now it's one of the most difficult to find and gets huge premiums because at the time it wasn't well received. So
Okay.
yeah.
The second part of this question interests me slightly.
Yeah.
They all interest me, but no, it is a little bit different. I don't think we've been asked this before. Could it have an effect on a coin series, or any series actually for that matter? So he's suggesting the Tudor Beast or Creature of the North, where half the series is Queen Lizzie and the other half is King Charles, or whichever way we go on that. Do you think that's going to make any difference?
No, because I think like when we have people that come into the store that get a little bent out of shape over having Elizabeth on the obverse of the coin, and you're not buying a coin for the obverse, is my experience. I don't look straight to the obverse and say, well, which monarch's on it? That will determine whether or not I'm interested. You're buying the reverse, which is where the actual design or the theme is. So if you've got it in a presentation case or something, I don't know if people do, but I have the reverse or reverse facing up. I want to look at if I lay out my Queen's Beast collection, I'm looking at I'm looking at all the beasts. I'm not looking at 12 or 13 portraits of Elizabeth and saying, wow, I feel great about this set.
But I reckon, though, that the one that's going to surprise, like the thing that you need to look out for, is more the normal everyday currency. So, for example, I can't remember which year it was, but we did a year... with the 50-cent piece.
2019, the Jodie Clark?
No. It wasn't the effigy on the back. It's actually... let me join the dots and you'll see
go
what
on.
I mean.
Yeah.
So I think it was the end of the 50th celebration or something, the end of World War II.
Yeah.
Or 60th. No, it must have been more than that. It must be the 70th because it wasn't that many years ago.
Yeah.
And they ran out of... they produced, 20 million, whatever they produced for the year. And they ran out in the last couple of months. So they produced a very small run of normal 50-cent pieces. And those normal 50s are worth a packet. So if that happens in this case where, they produce a whole stack of 50s or 20s or whatever for the year, say 20 million of them, and then, Queen Elizabeth dies 3 months in, so they run those ones out, but they run out towards the end of the year and they produce 1 million 20-cent pieces or 1 million 50-cent pieces of that year with Charles on the back of it. That will be the one that goes through the roof.
Absolutely. And that's exactly... So that is what happened with the 2019 50-cent coin when they transitioned from the Ian Rank Broadley to the Jodie Clark obverse.
Absolutely.
So there's the same scenario, yeah. So the Jodie Clark was all the hotly sought out one because it was introduced later in the year. So the speculation was that there was perhaps only one run of those done.
Yeah.
So everyone was getting onto that one because 2020 was going to be the year that they really pushed it and the entire run was allocated to that. So you're probably right. We may find that those years, or there will be coins. Yeah, there will be some coins where you have it's heavily weighted one way or the other, whether
that's
it will
right.
be interesting. Yeah, it'll
So
be good.
there might be only a few Lizzies and a whole heap of Charles,
Yeah.
or vice versa.
Yep.
And that'll be where it'll run. And it'll be only, I'm guessing now, but it'll be like the 20-cent piece, because they won't do it with the 50s and the dollars and the $2,
Yeah.
or it'll be the $2 and they won't do it with the rest. You know.
So
It'll be-
I think it's going to be wildly. It'll become the Wild West.
Yeah.
I would say proceed with caution
Yeah.
when this event occurs, because there will be no shortage of people telling you, I have it on good authority. This will be a really limited thing, So give me lots of money and you'll be laughing. So there'll be only one person laughing.
Yeah,
Not
that's
dynamic.
right.
I have,
All right.
I have a quick interjection before we
Yeah.
move on. Roscoe940 wants to ask Matt a question. Hey, Matt, what coin coming up is on your radar? Do you have a coin that's coming up that you're like, yeah, I'm excited for that one?
It doesn't take much to get me excited, Connor. Off the top of my head, I can't think straight. I wouldn't
You're
have
delirious.
A clue. Yeah, I am. There's a lot going on in my world at the moment.
Yeah. Have you, yeah? Anything? Nothing? Shall we move on?
Yeah, I'll get back to you. I'll have a think. Something
Alright.
will come up.
All right.
All right, Anne-Marie. Last time the 10-ounce Kookaburra, was released, you took interest via email and placed everyone in a draw to be eligible to buy one. Joe drew 30 names. Will this happen again so that everyone has a chance to get one? The short answer is yes. That was pretty much the way we were going to do the 5-ounce Tiger, but fortunately Perth Mint released more than we anticipated. If they corner us again with only 50, 30, whatever it was, 10-ounce cooks, yeah, that's unless someone comes up with a fairer way, that's exactly the way that we will run them. Okay. Hi, Michael, Matt, Ruben, Connor, Sylvia, or anyone else by the look of it. Just a heads up, and you're probably aware there are 2022 fake wedge-tail eagles already.
Really?
Huh.
I haven't seen any fakes.
Is there a photo in there? Can we have a squeeze?
There is. I doubt 10 for 26 US is real. No, I'd probably assume the same thing.
10 for 26, as in... Oh, okay.
That's what they're showing us a picture. I'm assuming... No, it's actually Facebook this is on. Who knows what you get? They put a picture on, you can't really judge it from the picture, but I would strongly suggest that if they're selling 10 for $26,
Something sus.
something sus, unless they've worded it wrong and they're meaning the tubes of 10 coins each, and each coin is worth $26 US, but even that's a bit cheap for a 1-ounce
Yeah.
coin, so...
Yeah, maybe a little
Yeah.
clarification required.
Yeah, I would. Either way, I'd steer clear of them.
Yep.
Particularly as they've got a monster box of maples in the advert. So they've got the wedge-tail eagle
Yeah.
with no capsule leaning against a tube of maples, and then underneath it they've got a monster box of maples sitting there. So I'd suggest not to go through this ad, would be my guess.
Cutting in just quickly, I've got a question from Adam Florio. What are your thoughts on the 10-ounce investment coins from RAM?
What 10-ounce investment coins? Have you seen such a thing, Michael?
Yeah, I have no opinion on them at this stage.
Okay. Yeah, pull it up, Connor. Let's have a squiz. Is it a Bullion series or?
They're just, I have no opinion. I think it's a fairly relatively new invention for them. RAM are trying to hit the investment market side a bit more. It's never really been their focus
Yeah.
for many years on that. So, I have no opinion is the short answer in the short term. Let's see it play out for a while.
All right, let's hit you with another follow-up, real short, quick one. Ricky Donna asks, what are your thoughts on copper stacking?
Personally,
Yep.
I think it's it's the one metal. It's one of the very few metals that I would say go paper, don't go physical. And I've
Unless
just
you
upset.
have a warehouse
Unless-
on hand
yeah.
and you have nothing better to put in it. I had a customer in Sydney whose entire garage was floor to ceiling copper.
As in pennies or
No, like bar, or the whole shooting match. Pennies. He had thousands upon thousands. He had bars. He would frequent the the scrap yards and just absolutely loaded up on copper.
Mm.
It was an eccentric character, very unique approach to these things. But yeah, it didn't sound practical to have a garage, and he said, "Yeah, I can't open the door. I have to park my car out on the street because I need someone to put on my copper."
Wonder how much his car is compared to his collection.
Yeah, I was just going to say you've got to start weighing up which is
Exactly.
worth more and which you're
Yep.
protecting more.
Yep.
The problem is you've got to store. You've got to they sell it by the flipping. Well, actually, it's sold by the pound, but you've got to have so much of it to make an impact on your investment. I would suggest that it's not a waste of time, but you've got to have some serious space to stack it.
Yeah.
Particularly the guys that are stacking it in 1 and 2 cent pieces in Australia or in the old halfpennies and pennies. Particularly in that form because it's only a component of. I really think you're wasting space. There's better ways to use it, and I would absolutely use. I'm not saying it's a bad investment because I actually like copper as an investment, but it's the one that I would probably use paper contracts for.
But I think there are some nifty designs getting around. Like I'm saying, stacking copper coins as a bit of fun seems to be increasing in popularity, and I think that's that can be good fun, but it's straying from the strictly investment approach. It's more you starting a collection and having a bit of fun, which there's nothing wrong with at all.
But having said all of that, if you have a lead on scrap copper, like your uncle knocks down houses, like demolishes houses, and he said, go for it, you can pull all the copper out that you want. Great. That's a great way to do it and to sell it that way.
Yeah.
But to actually buy investment grade bars to store in your garage, I'm on the fence on that one, I can tell you.
Yeah.
I got one from Aussie Frost. It's probably an obvious answer, but why is the Bullion Quokka 2020 the proof? Why is the Bullion... Okay, what he's asking is, why is the 2020 Quokka, Bullion Quokka, the same design as the Proof 2021 design?
I don't think that is an obvious answer. Is it? To you, is that obvious? Because I don't get that.
There is an easy answer. I don't know if it's an obvious answer.
Yeah.
But I hope Perth Mint aren't listening. They're lazy. And they've just reused the design over in the following year. So what happened in the first... I'm reading between the lines here. This isn't a direct quote from Perth Mint. But what seems to have happened is that they've produced the Quokka, not kind of realised how popular it was going to be, or someone has actually commissioned them to say, you've done this design, why don't we reuse it and we'll pump it out in the Proof. And they've gone, great idea. They've created it in the Proof, but they haven't got around to it for whatever reason until 2021. So it's come out, and then the 2021 Quokka Bullion has come out later on in the year with a completely new design. So it's a bit of cost cutting, I would suggest.
Yep. Okay. Oh, that's interesting. I did not know that.
We've had a comment earlier that was a little bit of a sticky one, but I think we should try and address it.
I love those questions.
So it's, you guys say you're busy, but sit around talking crap.
That's a good question.
I totally support that statement.
And then they've come back and they've said, you obviously won't ask my question. Apologies.
That wasn't really a question. That was
a statement.
Yeah.
Touche. But they've reworded it, said, you're busy chatting around babbling. If you're busy, why aren't you working, sending off online orders, etc., etc.? Maybe you're not busy.
Maybe. Or, when you run small businesses particularly, you have to allocate resources to all sorts of things. And from the outside looking in, it can look like you're wasting time. From the inside looking out, you know exactly why. So you're right. We do have a whole team dedicated to shipping stuff out, and that's their job. And I would say they are working flat out on it, because if they weren't, I'd be having words with them. And I'd say currently our systems are letting them down, and that's why things aren't getting out as quickly as they should. Are we sitting around talking crap? Absolutely we are. But to highlight my point, there are currently 165 people watching the crap that we're talking about. Yeah. And if you look on this, if YouTube don't pull it down on us like they did last week.
That is back up, though. Last week's stream is back up.
Very good.
Yep,
they released it again. But we will find that somewhere between 1,000 and 2,000 will view it over the next week, Connor. I'm kind of looking for confirmation on this, on affirmation.
Yep. 1.9 usually.
It is absolutely a marketing tool for us. So, yes, it's educational. And that I don't want to say we only do this because we get money out of it, but at the end of the day, we're a business, so we need to be able to show a profit somehow out of it. But the other thing is, it absolutely it gets the awareness of our brand out into the community. And I can tell you, even today, there would be at least half a dozen customers that have stopped me as I've been racing in and out of the store to say, "Oh, Michael, I watch your videos. Thanks for doing them. I enjoy them." That type of thing. And of course, I'm only going to tell you the positives that I hear, and they're only going to tell me if it's positive. They're not going to say, "Hey, I watched your video and it completely sucks." But it obviously has an impact on the community. It obviously gets our name out there. So while it looks like we're being very unproductive from a marketing perspective, we are absolutely exactly where we're meant to be, and I wouldn't be allocating the resources to it if I didn't think we were.
And I'd love to chime in if you don't mind. The social media and the YouTube channel gets a lot of questions, and having these sorts of streams are a really good way for us to deal with a lot of questions live. And if anybody's watching and they have a question that they want to contribute, it's a really good way for people who normally wouldn't comment on a video. They can chuck in a question as well. So I think this is a really, really good resource to actually have a connection with not only our audience, but our customers. Clear up any queries or anything like that. I think that's a really good element. The other thing I'd like to add is I would not like to see Michael in the dispatch center. We've got some...
Yeah, you get more questions than answers that way.
We've got some really hard workers, and they're doing a great job in the dispatch center. And we've talked about on previous streams that we've had some issues with dispatch, and it's usually our couriers that we are working on. So that commenter S was saying that they're actually waiting on an online order. So those sorts of once it gets to that point, it is out of our hands. Once it's in the FedEx or whoever we send our stuff off with. And I'd much prefer Michael and Matt here in the room chatting with you guys rather than shipping out orders, because we've got some pros for that.
Yeah, and I'll put my 2 cents in, since we're all putting 2 cents in. I wouldn't work here. I wouldn't have ended up with a job here if it weren't for the YouTube channel. I was a viewer and enjoyed the educational, the priority that was put on education as well as selling. I enjoy, as a collector, I like seeing products, but I liked the take that Michael took with this channel in putting a great deal of importance on educating people in this field. And it was as a result of that and coming here to do one of these interviews as a customer that ended up, how I ended up working here. And one of the things I do enjoy about working here is having that priority on educating people. And I've never, ever had a conversation with Michael relating to sales or anything like that, because it's not a priority here. It is much more of we facilitate deals and things like that, but there's no pressure. And I would be shocked if anyone that I dealt with walked away from the transaction thinking, geez, Matt really put me in a corner there and I felt like I had to buy X product, because there's no pressure in that
no
sense.
one's paid on commission. So
that's another big part of it. Yeah,
there's no pressure on you guys to sell from that perspective. There's actually been, I can think of 2 occasions where people have kind of indicated to me that they have felt pressured, or they've bought things and they've regretted it later on. And invariably, instantly I reversed their transaction, refunded their money in full, because we don't want anyone to feel pressured into it or cornered into it, or that they've been led astray. And people have heard me many times on in person and on YouTube to say, please don't base your information, like your decision, on the information I've given you. I'm biased. I'm trying to sell you stuff. Go away and do your own research. So we encourage that people go away. I think we've hammered on this enough. If he actually is, if
they have
whether
responded.
you're a him or a her, if you're saying, I'm waiting for an order, you guys are being a bit slack. A, I apologise for it, and B, if you shoot us through the invoice number, either on email or to Ben on
live chat,
or into the store on the phones, whatever, we can tell you exactly where it is and what's happening, and we can sort out any hold-ups.
S has responded with, thanks, guys. I always buy from Bullion Now. Best prices as well.
Good.
So thank you. We appreciate the feedback, and any and all feedback is welcome. I've got a lot of compliments. You want me to just burn through a couple of these in
Nah.
response to this? No?
I think I don't
Yeah.
think we need
Alright.
to
My
be
head
honest.
won't fit
I-
through the door.
I actually need to sidestep for a second. I've been requested to step out for a reason. I'm going to leave it to you guys. I'll be back in a few moments.
Wonderful.
All right. We'll see
In
you
demand.
momentarily.
This is the nature of live television.
Absolutely. But while we've got a chance, I'd just like to thank everybody who sent through a very nice compliment just now. We really appreciate it. And yeah, if anybody's unhappy with service, just let us know. We're not afraid to deal with those sorts of sticky
Yeah.
questions.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a nice community.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's
a lot
a
of nice
lovely
people.
community.
It's
Yeah.
always nice and bizarre. I've probably said this to you before, Connor. When I scoot down to help in the shop and I have a conversation with someone and they'll bring something up about me. And I think, how do you
did
know
you
that? But
know?
I think these types of things are part of that, you know?
Yeah.
You do get to know me. So,
Yeah.
And Michael as well, obviously. It's good fun.
Yeah, that's
Like
it.
the first time meeting Michael, I felt like I knew him so well. Like I was chatting with an uncle. And
Yeah.
he had no idea who I was. So
Yeah.
it's good fun.
That's
Makes
funny,
me-
and because normally, like out for myself, I'm generally a bit more of an introvert. Whereas, like on these sorts of streams, obviously, I'm talking quite a lot because I'm
Yeah.
trying to produce the stream. So it's really quite interesting when people in the hallway or in the elevator go out of the way to be like, "Oh, hey, great videos." It's like, oh, thanks, man. I really appreciate
yeah,
it.
I would say, yeah.
Yeah.
it's good
What was
fun.
your favorite part of this week so far, Matt?
Oh dear. As I say, it's been a big week.
Yeah, it has.
A lot of things happening. So I've enjoyed. Every week is enjoyable here. There's no 2 weeks are the same. I've had a lot of nice interactions with punters, both in the store and over the phone. I don't know. I'm not sure there's been a particular highlight. What about you? Hit me with a high point.
So lately we've had a little bit of an improvement in workflow, and we're planning this Sydney trip, and so we're having lots of meetings.
Yeah,
about
actually,
that.
that's the thing that's been constant.
It's
That's
been
why
a
it's
big
been such a
deal.
crazy week. I was sitting here sort of a bit vacant mentally. That's the thing that's been just sort of real,
taking,
absorbing
taking
the
up
extra.
your mental
yeah,
space.
the rubber's hitting the road in a big way. Exhibit A.
Yeah. Tell us about that, Matt.
Tell us about that.
Well, we had a morning meeting to discuss the game plan for Sydney. We've been having regular.
Do people know what's... I've only just walked back in. Does everyone
The
know what we're
Sydney
talking
Gold
about?
Conference. What's the date?
14th and 15th is the Gold Conference.
Bullion Now is going down to a gold conference in Sydney on the 14th.
You can tell he's a Queenslander. You go up to Sydney
Oh,
from Melbourne,
touche.
mate. Not down.
You got me there. But we're going to have a presence at the Gold Conference, and we'll be having a stall and catching a bunch of interviews, and Michael will actually be hosting a couple of panels as well.
Yeah,
So it's going
That's
to be
the
quite
rumour.
the event, and we needed some pamphlets.
we did indeed. So at a moment's notice, I think this is something that the shop has needed for a little while as well. So it's something that
Absolutely.
we discussed, just mentioned in passing, and we decided to pull the trigger and whip up a little pamphlet. So here we are, have it in my hot little hand. So if you're ever coming past the store, you can pick these up now, and we'll have. No doubt we'll have a fistful of these at the conference. So
But also, while we're in Sydney, we're not just going to the conference. We decided that we weren't going to be busy enough as it is, so we decided
Yeah.
to set up a meet and greet. We're going to be doing a live meet and greet for anybody in Sydney who can make it down to Bungalow 8, which is on the rocks. It's
is it on the rocks?
Is it on the rocks?
I don't
Tell you
think.
what, I
What's
think by
the-
that
It's in
time of night we're going to
Barangaroo.
feel like we're on the rocks.
We may or may not be on the rocks at that point, but we
I don't think Barangaroo is on the rocks. I
It's
think
not
it's
on
two
the
different
rocks.
places.
They
Okay.
are two different places.
Yeah.
One's
Okay.
around the corner.
Yeah. Barangaroo, Bungalow 8.
Flaming Queenslanders.
Well,
Yeah, out of control.
we have tickets for sale for this meet and greet event. So if anyone wants to come along to our meet and greet in Sydney, you're welcome to. Jump on that link that I've just put in the chat. Sign up. You pay $30 to get in. Have a bit of a chinwag with us, and you also, for your troubles and your $30, get an ounce of silver.
Yeah, it's a pretty good setup.
It's a very good setup.
Yeah, not bad at all.
Yeah,
And have
yeah.
a beer with the boys.
And we're very
Jeez.
excited for it. So we really appreciate those who have already jumped in and gotten some tickets. And we're looking forward to spending time with you in person. We will eventually be doing something like this in Melbourne, won't we, Michael?
That's the red hot rumour.
Yeah.
If I keep saying
Well, we need
it.
to get through this first one.
Yes.
Before we need to walk before we start running.
That's it.
Absolutely. Is there anything else we want to plug?
Well, was I answering another question?
I think
Your
hang on,
favourite part of the
before
week.
you do,
Yeah.
I want to drag you back for a second. Sorry, I'm
No, go
actually
for it.
working while we're on the live stream. I've had a
What a guy.
request to come through that I've got to sort out, and my laptop was in here, so I'm going to have to do it on live stream. But if you want tickets to that, have you put the Eventbrite up?
Yep, the
Yeah,
link
so
is in the chat.
it is strictly very limited numbers. They've probably already said this, and I wasn't listening, but it's very limited numbers because we've only got a fairly small space to operate in. Grab your tickets while you can. They are $30 a pop, but for that you do get that free ounce of silver, and you get to spend probably 3 hours.
Yeah.
With at least with the four of us. So it'll be Matt, myself, Connor, and Ruben, and anyone else we can drag along to it in the quote unquote expert field.
Yep.
And I don't know how we're going to run it. If we'll do an experts panel, I'm a bit reluctant to do that because, well,
Says the guy that keeps plugging it. Jeez.
we'd have to find an expert to go on the experts panel for a start.
At this
'cause
stage,
we
it's a
talk,
meet
we
and
talk
greet.
crap apparently.
Yeah, but it is the best crap, and everybody loves hearing to us and is telling us to crap on.
Yeah. So we'll have that, if we can't do that, we'll have a bit of a mingle. But yeah, it'll be very much on a personal basis. Like
Yeah.
it'll be
Very casual.
very
Very.
casual.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're not going to be hiding behind screens or anything along those sort of lines. And we're encouraging you to bring along all your questions.
Yeah.
Absolutely anything, because it's far easier to talk to people face to face and actually find out what they're meaning and ask follow-up questions than we can even do on a live stream where, we might answer your question, but we may not ask it properly and we may not get to the follow-ups type of situation. So if you're in Sydney and you're available that night, I can't encourage you enough to come along to it and, grab yourself a ticket while you can.
Yeah.
John
good fun.
Smith says, my first purchase was facilitated by Matt. It was a great experience. Thank you, Matt.
Oh, nice one. Thanks for the kind words, John.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. EE says, turn Connor on his head and maybe that will help in reference to the Queensland and saying up to Sydney and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Boone Nathan asks, can you do a pamphlet unboxing? Well, I mean, we've revealed it
Imagine
already.
that. Yeah. Did you
We
put up?
should.
Did you?
Well, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You need to put up that. We shot a video. Like, honestly, we shouldn't do things that late in the afternoon.
That was that was an explosive 4-5 videos in a row.
Yeah,
That
and
was good.
it got a little bit out of hand towards the end there.
Which video are you talking about?
The one
Michael?
about the pamphlets, which I don't think you've cut and pasted yet. Like, not cut and pasted, whatever you
Edited.
call
It's called editing,
Yeah,
Michael.
that's the word.
Just
Yeah,
so
that's-
everyone knows, Michael doesn't know what editing is called. Just so you all know.
Michael, one of the comments when they were talking about Michael being in Dispatch, I'm thinking that would be the biggest disaster on earth. Michael knows nothing about Dispatch. Whenever I go in there, Emma just about does her nut
Yeah.
because I'm getting in the way and I do the wrong things and I pick up a box and go, oh, look at this, and I move it to where it's not meant to be. And
Yeah.
I mean, they have the patience of saints down there at
Yeah, they
Dispatch
do,
Centre
yeah.
when I get in there. So it would you think you're waiting a long time now? Put me in there.
No, we refuse. That will not happen. It's a good thing you're not looking for a job, Michael.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Have you? What did you? Oh, you're working away, so you've got more emails, though, right? So
I do. I have
can't-
about 4 more to go
good,
through.
We can't forget those.
But we'll kill time. I've got a couple of questions in the chat. Do you have more serialized 1 ounce Perth bullion?
I believe not.
Okay. Crypto Monkey says, I understand you have 1 ounce silver maples and Krugerrands coming in the next few weeks. Can you please advise how many you will have on hand and how quickly they will be listed on the website?
That's a good question. It's an excellent question, particularly the time between getting them and listing them. So what do you think, Michael? Yeah, he's thinking away.
There you go. You in the chat get a very first-hand experience of what it's like interacting with Michael in an office
And I
scenario.
said this to someone on the phone yesterday. They were asking about the level of interaction that I have with Michael. And I said, you will find this hard to believe, but the live stream is the most I interact with that guy in the entire week.
Yeah.
And I think it's a fair comment, S, that you made earlier, because you could easily get the perception that this is how the rest of the week plays out just without a camera.
Yeah.
But when the camera's not here, it's just ships in the night. We just sort of, it's nice if I get a hello in the morning.
Yeah.
Am I really that bad?
You're really that busy. That's what it
Exactly.
is.
It's not bad. It's not,
we-
it's friendly when it's there, but
And it's functional. We function, but
Yeah.
yeah. It's very hard to nail you down. Like I was trying to get you in for this stream, even Michael, and you know what that was like.
I didn't think it was that bad. I
wasn't-
have to pay a bit more attention.
It's not that bad, but it is a case of
I feel like I'm in counselling right now.
yeah, it's good fun.
All right, I will endeavour to. Here we go. We're marriage counselling now. I will endeavour to communicate more with you and to
Yeah,
be
good.
more receptive and not be looking at a screen. Actually, that is one thing that my wife and kids complain. You're always looking at a screen.
Yeah. Oh, you look.
Hey,
You're not wrong.
Michael, I might just dig you out of a hole and just move on.
Please do.
Has my wife logged on today?
Uh,
You see her anywhere on there? Or am I in
look.
serious trouble?
Look, I can't, look, I'm not. Look, I don't know. Well, let's move on and hopefully nothing gets picked up there.
Alrighty, I'm almost finished, and I'll be back with everyone in a moment.
Matt, have
Yes,
you
sir.
added anything to your stack recently?
Ooh, that's a good question. Recently, you know what I did get the other day was one of those Fender Stratocasters, not the actual guitar.
Yeah.
Pamp did a 1 ounce silver, which is pretty cool. It is
Ooh.
the, oh goodness, what's the type of green they call it? Sea green? I could be totally mistaken. You knowledgeable on guitars at all, Connor?
I am not. Nope.
Oh, okay. Someone will be able to correct me in the chat. Some type of green. Yeah, it's really cool. It's like a little 1 ounce, silver Strat. And for those that are unaware, I'm fairly into the rock and roll scene. So I used to play in bands and all that kind of thing. So yeah, I love guitars and all that kind of thing. Specifically Fenders.
Yeah.
They're my main jam, if you will.
So, for those of you guys who want to know just when we are going live and you want to get the up-to-date live notifications, please check out our Twitter. We finally cracked the code and we're into our Twitter account and we're posting every time we go live.
Seafoam green. Thank you very much, Smithies.
Seafoam green, spot on.
yeah.
There you go.
Wait,
Smithy's
was
got
that
it
right? Is that what I said? No, I didn't say foam.
You just
I just
said
said
green.
sea green or something.
yeah.
Yeah. In my head, I thought turtle green, but that's
Turtle
definitely not it. Yeah.
Turtle green. That's
I need to
a
get
new
up
one.
with it. I just had the wood grain
Yeah.
on my Fender Jazz. Yeah.
Sim Bungie's pointing out you weren't into it enough to know the color of it.
No, because I don't have one. I don't have an actual one. The actual the instrument that I do have is a Fender Jazz bass, but it's like it's just the standard wood grain version.
So there's some rumors going around the chat that there's going to be a 5 ounce giveaway, Michael.
Really?
That's just what everyone's gassing each other up and saying, hey, you missed a 5 ounce giveaway before. There's going to be a 5 ounce giveaway. No, there's not.
Now, didn't we do that right at the start? Just
Yeah.
before anyone logged on?
We're not doing it again.
Yeah, that's right.
So if you missed it, you missed it.
That's it.
All right. Do we have more emails?
We do.
Michael, or-
This is from Dan C. It's quite a long one, so I'm trying to compact it down a bit.
Nice.
There's a little bit of confusion. We must have been out of 1 gram bars, I think, when he came in. So he had to get a 1/20th Gold Tiger instead. So I apologise for that. And so, no, I didn't almost fall off. No, I did actually almost fall off my chair. I was trying to work out what 5 ounce thing I'd committed us to this time. But he summarised his questions at the bottom, I think. How are you cheaper than Perth Mint? Most Perth Mint items are cheaper. Most Perth Mint items are cheaper from Bullion Now than they are from the Mint itself. It's easier to open 2 web browsers at a time and compare. If it wasn't for the fact that I needed my purchase immediately, I would have bought from you. Okay. So there's a couple of things at play there. One is we try and be as efficient as we possibly can and keep costs as low as we possibly can. We're usually a similar price to Perth Mint. We are sometimes cheaper, but as a rule, we're a similar price. The times that we seem to be cheaper than Perth Mint is we run on live pricing. So I say it's instantaneous. It's not. It takes I think the cycle takes about 3 minutes. Everything updates kind of every 3 to 5 minutes on the spot price. But effectively, our spot pricing is live. Or our pricing is live tied to the live spot price. So if spot comes down a little bit, you'll actually find our prices come down straight away. Conversely, if spot goes up a bit, our prices go up pretty much straight away. The Perth Mint don't work that way. They go back to Treasury, and Treasury sets the price sporadically throughout the day for spot price.
Oh.
So if spot starts moving either way, you'll find Perth Mint pricing will be out. Now, usually it's not noticeable because it moves, $1, it moves a few cents. It doesn't move a heck of a lot. But if there is a bit of a spike upwards or downwards in gold or silver, you'll find that Perth Mint don't react very quickly with their pricing. So if you get a sudden run up in price, here we go, shoot myself in the foot, and this is why people tune in, because they get the hot goss from the industry because we lift the veil. Dive onto the Perth Mint website and you may find they're $1 or $2 cheaper than us at that point there, because our prices have reacted instantly, whereas their prices haven't. Conversely, if prices are coming down and you need something, don't go to Perth Mint, shoot over to us, because our price will have reacted instantaneously. So,
well, and I also think it's good to be mindful of, and as a customer, you're always on the hunt for a bargain. I think some of the things, and this is from a customer perspective, which I was once upon a time. Things that were handy were the 3 months free storage in order to accumulate a few things, because if I bought one 1 ounce coin from the Perth Mint, I'm paying the full postage rate to get that sent to Victoria, which can almost rival the cost of the coin in some instances. Whereas here, and it's common feedback on the phone that it's helpful for people to accumulate a few different coins over a couple of months and then just get one set postage fee and get it all sent out, or come in and pick it all up at once, which is sort of like Christmas. But I never had that patience. You may recall, Ruben and I were chatting the other day, and he said to me it was always a laugh when he would manually send out the email to say your order's ready, and he'd say, I would always chuckle, because as soon as I hit send on yours, I knew the phone would ring within about 2 or 3 minutes, and you'd be saying, yeah, I'm on my way. I've got 1 foot out the door. I'll see you soon.
Yeah, Matt's never been known for his patience on that. So,
Urban Aerials also points out, don't forget the PM 3% fee at the checkout.
Yeah.
What's that for?
So apparently,
no comment. It's another company. I'm not going to comment on how they charge. That's nothing to do with us.
Didn't know about that.
Yeah. So anyway, I haven't finished all these questions yet.
Back to the emails.
So question 2 was, how does a mint run out of stock? I understand the Perth Mint isn't your business. You cannot speak on their behalf. However, the optics, as I view them, is odd. Their online store can run out of stock and be put on back order, but the business practices of allowing the customer-facing retail to run out of stock for locals is rather dismal. And I couldn't agree more with that statement. And I'm about to lose my computer anyway. It's running out of battery. So, like any production facility, they can only produce so many widgets in so many hours of the day. So, if they sell more widgets than they can produce, if they sell more than they can produce, they're going to run out at some point. They have the advantage over us of being able to put things on back order. We can't do that with Perth Mint stuff because we don't know when we're going to get it. I was saying to someone earlier on today, they must have something along the lines of about $8 million worth of our stock on quote-unquote back order sitting in Perth, waiting, and we're waiting for it to be shipped over. Now, if I said to you, sure, place the order, they'll be in the next day or so or the next week or so, Perth Mint might not ship them to us for 3 months. And they don't give us a reason why. We just, there's a release of coins on Monday that I ordered. It must be going back a month at least that I placed the order and paid for them. They still haven't dispatched out of Perth, and we're meant to do a release on Monday for them. So, their retail arm could put things on back order. It would be detrimental for us to do it. Finally, thanks for reading this far. I previously sent an email with some feedback about the silver donuts. With respect, I wish to request the silver donut is relabeled the silver Taurus for the following reasons. Non-food description, so stupid people don't attempt to eat it.
Okay.
See your point. Yeah.
How much damage would a silver donut do to someone's intestines if they did eat it?
Don't know, I'm not a doctor.
It'd pass through.
Yeah,
relatively.
it has antibacterial properties, so you won't get sick from it.
Please,
But
please
don't do
do
it.
not take this as a...
don't
you
do
can-
it.
You can swallow the donut. You absolutely shouldn't be swallowing the silver donuts. It's
Do not
probably a
try
fair
this
point.
at home.
I've never worried about it, but it's possibly something we should have on it.
Keep away
Um,
from kids and don't try it at home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Technically,
People can
more
swallow
accurate.
swords. People do sword swallowing. Surely a
Yeah.
donut would be fine. But don't do it.
Don't quote Matt.
Still
there.
don't do it. Yeah, I'm not a doctor.
He's saying technically more accurate is to call it a Taurus. I actually thought they were a tail, but that may be the gold version versus the silver version. I've never looked that up. So, yeah, I mean, we could look at it. We'll take it on board. I haven't made any comments. I'm going to scoot through these. I've only got 2 more to go through, and my computer's about to die, so I want to get through them.
Have you read double E's?
I don't know, but that's possibly because double E's come in with a name rather than with double E, so I haven't been able to tie the two together. So if I haven't answered your question,
ask us in the live
well,
chat.
ask in the live chat or point me to which one I've missed, because as far as I'm aware, I've only got 2 that are marked as unread. I went to the Melbourne Money Expo in Brisbane on the weekend, hoping to see Bullion Now. I also wanted to get a selfie with Matt, but to no avail. Matt was there.
He was. I was.
So you missed him.
Yeah.
But, we
So-
haven't had a stand at the Andar
Andar?
show at this stage. It's more coin-related than bullion-related, but that's a cop-out. We possibly should look at doing something along those lines.
And
I'm-
that particular weekend, as seems to be the case more often than not for me lately, was quite a busy one. I flew up to Brisbane to set up the show on Friday and flew back to Melbourne on Saturday for my sister's wedding, and then flew back to Brisbane again to run the show for the rest of the day Sunday and pack up. So the Saturday I wasn't there,
Okay.
but all other Ander shows I will be there with bells on.
Literally?
Quite possibly. We'll see how I go. But yeah, we should look
So
into
look for the guy with the bells on.
Or listen,
at the end
listen
of the
for the
day.
guy.
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, I reckon we'll look into that, having a Bullion Now presence in some capacity for the Melbourne show.
Yeah, I would love that.
We'll get
Even
some
if
more
it's-
video content and,
Yeah.
cause a ruckus, and maybe that'll coincide with the Melbourne meet and greet. Who knows?
Ooh.
The sky is the limit, guys.
Last one from me on this. This is from Greg. When you have your new website up and going, will you have the facility to conduct auctions for old and rare silver gold bullion, similar to what we used to do on the Stackers Forum, the Silver Stackers Forum? The short answer to that is absolutely. It was one of the priorities on there to be able to auction those things off, because we get a lot of things in store and we all sit around going, "What? How do we best market this? Like, how do we sell it? How do we make people aware of the fact that we've got it?" So, yes, it's there, and we're very close to releasing that new website. By that, I mean we're looking probably July 1. Hopefully, it will be live.
Really?
I'm hoping.
Wow.
Hoping.
All right.
Okay,
Watch
Marin's
this
just
space.
shot me because I released a date on it.
Marin has jumped in and she's just said yes, yes, yes. So
Okay.
looks like she's on board with it as
Yeah,
well.
I'm not sure
Very
she's on
good.
board with me giving a date out there, but we're getting closer. But as always, the last 10% takes as long as the first 90%. But we're certainly within spitting distance of the finish line for both that and the back end stuff. So hopefully, we'll be able to have good news within 6 weeks or so.
Bianca wants to know, is there any chance of getting any more gold bitcoins? I missed the first time.
No. Did that shoot you down quick
No,
enough?
no. Yeah, no. Perfect. Perfect.
Yeah, sorry about that. I'm trying still, but I'm not getting any positives, so I'm going to say no.
We've got someone asking us, gentlemen, this is a very Australian question. Have you ever had a boxing match with a roo?
I bet
Matt?
you have, Michael. I haven't.
We'll start with
I
Matt.
grew up in what Michael would consider the city.
It's not, I wouldn't consider it is the city. What are you talking
What are you
about?
talking about? No. Did anyone know that Michael and I were born in the same hospital?
What?
Yeah. Is that not an astounding fact?
That is fascinating.
Like 20 years apart, but the
Yeah,
same
yeah.
hospital.
I find that to be, You know how I feel about a fun fact, Connor.
Yep.
Gee whiz, that's up there.
We have been missing your fun facts lately. I remember when I first started, your fun facts were like a staple.
Yeah, coming
But-
a mile a minute. Well, there you go. That's one for today.
There you go.
I
Done.
like that question there. It's just disappeared off my screen. My computer's died. But being new to all of this, what's the point of junk silver?
Yeah,
Matt.
good question. So for me, and I think for a lot of people, it forms somewhat of a bridge, or it can do, between numismatic collecting and silver stacking. So it can also be, for some people, an affordable way to get into it, because you often will find that there aren't horrendous premiums attached with quote unquote junk silver. Junk silver in Australia usually
Sucks.
refers to, it sucks.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. I'll go why. Could you highlight that one from Max before it disappears off the page, mate? Because I want to come back to that one.
Yep.
Sorry, keep going, Matt.
Jeez, it sucks. I would respectfully disagree. However, so for those playing at home, any of the coins, Australian coins, struck from 1910 up to 1946 were 92.5% silver. And then from 1946 to 1964, they are all 50% silver. So you'll hear the term, whenever we do videos, we haven't done one in a while, but when we toss around terms pre and post, that's what it's referring to, that 1946 transition period, and to some extent the 1966 round 50s, which are 80% silver. So it's basically just old coins that did have a silver component when money was real money, Michael.
It was.
Yeah. So
The reason I said it sucks is not because I don't like the coins, because I actually love the coins. I love the history behind them, and I've banged on about that many times before. And I love the round 50. I think the story behind it is great. The reason I don't like it in Australia is from a dealer's perspective, is it incurs GST.
Oh, okay,
and
yeah.
That makes it more expensive than, getting just a normal bar of silver. And I also don't like, particularly with the 50% stuff, the amount, it comes back to the copper conversation we were having before. You're storing so much stuff, so much weight, so much volume for half the amount of silver than you would if it was pure. So that's the two reasons I don't like it as a stacking tool. It's not particularly cheap. Unlike if we were having this conversation in the States, completely different discussion. But in Australia, it kind of has that headwind component to it that I don't like.
It's also, I think it can be, it's good fun, but I as a a coin enthusiast first and foremost would still put that type of thing as a peripheral part of my collection as opposed to the primary focus. It's a nice to have on the side, where you have your main stack rooted in investment type bullion. It's good fun.
So a quick one, MSKR, any more quarter ounce Tudor Lions coming in? Yes, there is another delivery. They split the delivery on us and only sent us half, so they better be sending the other half real soon. So yes, there is more coming in. But the one I wanted to touch on was an unallocated one from Max. Quick question, fellas, with the unallocated gold spot price. I watched one of your videos about coming into the store, and if you wanted to pick up the gold, you get given whatever you have in store. That's not strictly true. It's I'm trying to word this correctly because people unallocated always causes a lot of emotion out there because there's a lot of unallocated programs, not ours, that are paper backed, not physical backed. Ours is purely physical backed.
Let's just make that very, very clear. Our unallocated program is backed by physical.
Ounce for ounce, gram for gram.
But there are a lot of programs out there that are not backed by physical, and those are the ones you got to watch out for.
Yeah. But as far as you get given what's in the store, you kind of do, you kind of don't. So if you walked in here today and you said, look, I've got an ounce of unallocated and I want to apply it to, what do we not have at the moment? Minted bars. I don't have any 1 ounce gold minted bars from Perth Mint in store at the moment. Then I physically don't have it in the store. I can't say, sure, no worries, because I don't have it. But you can say, look, I want to lock in the premium price, not the premium very rarely changes, so it doesn't matter. But you would say, look, as soon as you get one in, I want to convert my unallocated over to it, and away you go. So you don't have to have what's in store. However, if you walk in and say, I've got 1 ounce of unallocated gold, I want right now to convert it into something and take it right out the door with me, then absolutely. If I don't have it in store, I can't supply it. Like I physically can't do it. So when I say it's the unallocated is backed 1 for 1, I don't know what you want to convert it into. So I can't mind read. I don't have I may not have exactly what you want sitting there backed by that ounce of unallocated. Your ounce could be a combination of 10 1/10 coins in our storage unit for the backing is what I'm referring to here. It may be part of a kilo bar. So we've sold lots of unallocated that day, and I've ordered in a kilo bar to back it. And quite a lot of our stuff is backed with that lower premium stuff because at the end of the day, I'm funding the premium, you're funding the spot price. It depends on what you want to get it converted into. But if you just waltz in and say, I've got 1 ounce of unallocated, I want to convert it into a physical product, absolutely. We can convert it into a physical product. It might be locally produced. It might be a coin. If you don't care, we don't care, and we can convert it over pretty much instantaneously.
Yeah. And I think with what you were getting at earlier, Connor, with programs that are out there that are purely contracts or just, as you would say, paper-based, I had, you know how I have good moments, a good analogy. So you could describe, it could be argued that some other programs, you effectively get an IOU, whereas this unallocated program is you own X amount of physical, as opposed to, at some point in time, we will back it. It's no, this is backed now, and it is physically in existence in some form or another in our stock holdings. Yeah. So that is and it doesn't sound like a big difference when you say it like that, but
it is. If spot price doubled tomorrow, and you're paper backed or not even paper backed, you're just an IOU, as you said.
Yeah,
you're in a lot of trouble as a business. Whereas we go, I don't care, which cracked me up during the chaos we had over COVID, and there was a thing. I won't say where it was on the World Wide Web, but there was a thing on there that let's crash Bullion Now's unallocated program. Everybody go in tomorrow and claim back your unallocated. And I'm thinking, flamin-tastic, because we actually don't make any profit out of unallocated until someone converts it either into cash or into a product. Because all you're paying spot price. I'm funding the balance of it until you actually convert it over. So if everyone walked in and converted their unallocated over, mate, it'd be bonuses all round.
So let's do it. Maybe one of us will start that trend again.
That's right. So if you want to convert your unallocated over, you're not going to get any pushback from us other than the fact that you might come in and say, I want a 1 ounce Perth minted bar at the moment. I'm going to give you a pushback until we get the next delivery in of those. Yeah. But as far as converting it over into physical, bring it on, sunshine.
E-Waste Ben is in the chat. He says, "G'day, stackers."
What a guy. How you going, mate? We had a chat with him. Did an interview with him, in fact.
You did?
Yeah, had a lovely chat. Really, really nice guy.
We're actually getting a few questions about some collaborations with some other well-known YouTube stackers and coin people out there. And it is something that we are developing. We definitely want to sort of get on top of all our little issues, our audio issues and our tardiness issues. Isn't that right, Michael?
Yeah,
absolutely. Any day now.
Any day now. And we would genuinely very much love to start up, for example, Matt's interview series again. That was a great one. So we're looking towards it, and we're working towards it.
Yeah. If anyone knows 2 is 1 personally.
Yep. If anyone
I saw that name pop up.
Yeah.
I've been chasing that guy for months now. He's too cool for me. He doesn't reply to me. But I love his videos. I'm a big fan of 2 is 1. He's a really nice. He seems like a really nice guy. So maybe he's watching now. Or if any of you fans, crossover fans, let him know. Matt's on your case. Wants to have a chat.
Can you scroll back up 2 questions? Because there's a follow-up question from the unallocated there from Michael Edwards. I have 1 ounce of unallocated. Can I say I want to convert it for a Luna when they come in so I can reserve it? That is one of the many ways that I would like to see our unallocated used. And it's one of the comments that we've bounced back and forwards around here is, should we actually, when we get an allocation of items, should we keep a component of them for the unallocated people? Because absolutely, we have several people who buy silver or gold throughout the year and they purely use it to lock in a spot price today because I want to reserve it to convert over to the Lunar when they release that in late August, early September.
Yeah.
So absolutely, I encourage you to do that. And in fact, I reckon we will this year. If someone reminds me, we'll actually reserve some of our allocation for our unallocated customers to convert over
I will
into.
remind you of that because that does make a lot of sense because it's a common request for a reservation and things like that. And we would find ourselves in a pickle if we did reserve, if we had 100 people that said, hey, I'm confident that I want the next 1 ounce Lunar release. It comes out and they say, I don't know if I really like this design. Yeah, I might just dip out. And then you've reserved 100 and you end up in a predicament.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a tricky one, but that could be a good way to manage it.
Yeah.
Brad Welch has jumped in and said, I'm a YouTuber and turned lead into bullion, but not up for an interview. Have a face for radio only.
We can actually deal with that.
We can work with that.
Yeah,
If
if
you
you
look
see,
at-
most of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just going to say, if you look
face.
at a lot of Matt's videos, you actually don't see their face. You just, at best, you see their hands.
Yeah.
As they're showing different coins. So
Yeah, put a couple of coins on the table, set up your camera,
yeah,
and
Absolutely.
we'll rock and roll.
And I would just like to point out, I've actually seen some of Brad's content. He does, one of the videos that I really enjoyed was some underwater diving for scrap.
Oh, really?
And it was great. It was brilliant. It was brilliant. So good on you.
We've obviously been on this live stream too long because I heard underwear.
Underwear. Okay, Michael.
Yeah, no, yeah.
I don't know where that came from.
Too much time spent with jet engines, Michael.
Yeah.
Way too much.
Yeah. S asks, do you ever sell vintage bullion online?
That's hopefully what we will do with the new website that we're doing. We're going to be able to advertise it online far easier. Because the problem is with the vintage stuff, you only get one bar in or, half a dozen coins. So it's very difficult to create a new listing for just that. Well, it's not difficult. It's just time consuming. And then because it's vintage, everyone wants a photo from every single different angle because I didn't realise it had a
Yeah.
smudge on that side. And
Yep.
it's just a flaming nightmare. So look out for it when we release the new website because it will have the ability to be able to do that far more easily.
Mark Newcomb has just said, Matt, I've just emailed you to his one's contact. So
There you go.
Oh, lovely.
Follow
Email
that
him
one.
as well on
Yeah.
my behalf because I've already emailed him and I haven't heard back. We need to get a bit of momentum on that.
yeah. John Smith is asking, how often do you
I was
have
just going to pick that one
flash sales on the live streams?
myself.
Infrequently.
I would actually say frequently.
Frequently, yeah. Okay.
But yeah, it's
Intermittent.
it's usually the conversation goes, are we doing a special on the live stream? I don't know. Have we got anything we can offer on special? Any buybacks or anything good in the store? Oh, I don't know. We'll have to see if we get organised for that. And as you saw for today,
229 rolls around.
Yeah.
as you saw from the start of today's live stream, were you here for the start? Because I certainly wasn't.
I was, of course. I
Oh,
didn't
there you
miss
go.
it.
Well, one of us made it.
I told you, I didn't have any hiccups, despite smashing down my lunch. When I went to put my shirt on, Connor said, "That makes it sound like I hang out without a shirt on." I have another
With
shirt
his rugged, hairy chest.
under this one. And I said, "Hey, I'm just gonna go put my shirt on." Connor said, "Yeah, no worries, 20 seconds." I was like, "All right, I better double time it."
Yeah. Ditch your sandwich for lunch and get here. You got 20 seconds. So it was very close to only being a stream with no bodies in the camera.
Yeah, it all worked out. It always does.
Now, Matt, we have some people asking if you have your own YouTube channel and do your own videos.
Oh dear. Yeah, well, on occasion, I've been known to have a yak.
Is that something you're ready to talk about?
I don't know. I'm happy to talk about it. I don't want to.
How do you feel about that, Michael?
Yeah. How does Michael feel about that?
I'm going to look like a bit of a rabbit if I said I didn't like it.
Oh yeah, jeez, you sort of put the poor bloke on the spot.
Sorry about this. It's
Throw it up.
It's come up a couple of times. I'm going to drop the link in
that's
the
very
chat.
Lovely, very kind of you.
So
Connor.
give us a brief. What do you do on your YouTube channel, Matt?
Oh, he's talking about coins. It's
You talk about coins.
you wouldn't
No.
read about it, Michael. This guy.
Listen to him rabbit on all day about coins.
Yeah, pretty much. There are times where it's a bit weird. If I go home and do a video, I think I am as close to like eat, sleep, breathe,
Coin,
coins.
repeat.
Yeah. Get home from a day of dealing with coins, and I think, what will I do? I've got it. I'll set up the camera and talk about coins for another hour. Have you just lost the camera, Connor?
Oh, mate. Where's...
Yeah, audio
Mate,
only.
it's hard to get professionals these days, isn't it?
Is that your default, Michael? Is that the only thing you can think
Well, it
of,
is.
mate?
It is around here, mate.
This is like one of those videos when a guitarist breaks a string. That was
Yeah,
a
but at
good,
least-
quick
At
changeover.
least
though.
when they break a string, they can keep playing. He seems to shut down and have a heart attack.
What do you mean?
back
What
on.
happened? What happened, mate?
Perfect.
What are you talking about?
We noticed.
Noticed what? Noticed what? No one noticed anything. It's all good. It's all good.
Anyone would think he was. Anyway,
No, finish that. Anyone would think
actually, I
he's-
couldn't think of anything to throw
Yeah,
on the
that's
end of
right. That's right.
Oh dear.
it. Connor does a sensational job. We never have any issues at all.
Yeah.
Look, all I'm going to say is there's definitely less issues than when I started.
No, that was time. That was
And there was stunned silence in the room.
time to perfection. Tell me about your channel, Matt. What? Everything's just died.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I didn't
moving
have
on.
to say no. We just pulled the plug.
Oh, like clockwork.
All right. Well,
Moving right along.
Yeah.
do we want to move on?
Yeah. Yeah. What do you
Oh,
got?
okay.
Yeah, hit us.
Perth Mint kilo bars. Has there been something? I'm hearing rumours about some sort of production delays from the Perth Mint about their kilo bars. Is
yeah,
that?
I've
Is
heard
there
this
any
as
truth?
well. Michael, give
Yeah.
us the goss. Give us
I-
the inside
I
scoop.
Actually, don't think there's any real goss on this one. They have pulled the pin on. Don't run too hard with this. They have pulled the pin on production at the moment. There's a delay because of there's such huge demand for them at the moment. So I don't think I'm allowed to place an order until late next week. I think it is. They've asked us to place
okay.
no orders. It's not a big deal. It's just one of those production things. It also ties in, as I said earlier, with their audit that they're doing over the Monday, Tuesday next week.
Yeah. Yep.
So I think it's just a coming together of a lot of different things. I wouldn't
Yeah.
read anything major into it. We currently have plenty of kilo bars. As I say this, Ruben will probably come bolting in after the live stream and go, "You idiot!" But, last I checked, so about half an hour before the live stream, we had plenty. I'm not stressed about it. Having said that, you may find that come late next week, they owe us about 800 kilos at the moment, 800 to a ton, somewhere around there. So
Still
assuming
spins me out, Michael. Hearing Silver referred to by the ton. I don't think that's something you ever get used to, particularly when it gets delivered. It's yeah.
you should try paying for it.
Yeah, but, who knows? One day.
Assuming that we get our delivery on time next week, I'm not stressed. Next live stream, you might see me looking very stressed because the delivery hasn't arrived. But there might be a slight hiccup in our sales. You might see them disappear off the web for a few days, maybe a week, but that's all I'd expect.
Yeah. What about the local stuff? Are we getting local, the locally
Yeah.
produced kilos in?
Yeah,
Because
we are.
there's some nice looking local bars. I've had a few people comment on. You get the odd scratched up Perth bar, but
Oh.
some of the local ones are, giving them a run for their money. You could say.
Look, I gotta say that. Oh, geez, I hope Perth Mint's not listening to this right now.
Well, maybe
Oh, you
just
could be gentle.
be gentle. Yeah.
Yeah.
Their bars, their presentation of their bars is not the same as what we get, particularly from someone like Pamp, where they
Yeah.
pack them. Look, we've all seen it. The Perth Mint bars, they get put in a cardboard box of 10. They lie on their sides, and there's nothing in between each bar. So the whole way across the Nullarbor, they're doing this. So by the time they turn up to us, I don't want to say they're beaten up because they're not beaten up, but they certainly have markings on them. Let's
Yeah.
face fact.
They're weathered.
Whereas, you look at something like Pamp, which admittedly, and everyone's going to jump on me, you pay quite a bit more for because you absolutely do.
Yep.
But, they come in a plastic box, bigger than that and shorter than that. But there's 5 bars lined up and then a thick layer of plastic. And 5 bars lined up and then a thick layer of plastic. 5 bars lined up and then layer of plastic and then the lid on top.
Yep.
So even though they're coming in from Switzerland, and they usually come in via the States, I might add, so they go the long way around, they still come in and they're pretty much mirror finish. There's rarely a mark on them. Perth Mints aren't like that. The locally produced ones, I know one of our sources that we get, they polish the bars before they let us pick them
Yeah.
up. So they really, to a point where we actually wear gloves when we're handling, which is ridiculous. When
It
you're
is
just
bizarre,
thinking it's meant to be an industrial lump of metal, where we're in there handling it with cotton gloves because we don't want to leave a fingerprint on them because they're a mirror finish on them, and they look $1 million. They really do.
Yeah.
Quite often when we stack them side by side with the Perth Mint, people will accuse us of giving them buyback Perth
That
Mints.
is one of Ruben's most common gripes, is having to... And he said this week he did it, in fact. He pulled out the box with the seals on it and said, all right, watch closely now. I'm opening this for the first time, and pulled out a bar and said, that is it. Like, that's how they turn up. So
Yeah, I got caught out doing that about 3 weeks ago. I gave someone one, and it did have marks on it. Like, it did look buyback-ish, but no worse than any others. And the person that I was handing it to went, are you kidding me? This looks buyback. What have you done? Taking it out the back and throwing it out a window. And so I said, look, this is how they all come in. I'll get a box out, and I'll show you, and you can have a pick of any of the box, but I'll open a brand new box in front of you. Of course, the first one I pull out,
perfect
mirror finish.
Yeah.
It's like, oh.
There is an odd occasion where that will happen.
You win some, you lose some. Kane Friday has jumped in. Hello, boys. G'day, Kane.
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 He's on it. You're on it, Kane. Always first comments.
Yeah.
More often than not, first comment. I love it.
He's also got a question. Really, why would they drive them and not fly precious metals from the Perth Mint?
Is this based on the weight?
Yeah, this is purely based on what cost of it. So you're looking at, a kilo bar is $1,000 and it weighs a kilo, and we are ordering 800 of them. You put that on a plane, it's going to cost you like huge dollars to get flown over to Victoria, whereas you stick it on a truck and I don't know, I can't tell you what we pay, but we probably pay a couple of $100 for it, a ton to be delivered.
What's the weight limit on a standard plane?
What's a standard plane?
I don't know. You're the pilot here. You tell me.
Are you
I
talking
don't know.
about
What's a normal
my little plane, or are you talking about an A380?
What's a normal passenger plane? I don't know. What I would what you'd jump on as a passenger to fly from Melbourne to Sydney.
Well, you can take hundreds of kilos on it,
It's just expensive.
but it gets expensive.
Well, that's what I mean. So, what would the capacity be? So, did you ever get to a point when you were a pilot where you'd have to say, "Geez, this plane cannot
Feels
take
heavy."
it can't take any more weight." Is it like driving a car with a heavy load, where you're like, "Oh, takeoff's a bit."
Yeah, no. Every single flight I've done, you've always got to check the weight the weight of the aircraft to make sure you don't have too much fuel on board, too many bums on board, and too much freight on board.
How do you do that? Are you on is it?
No,
like
you're not parked on scales, but we know the weight of the aircraft. We know how many litres of fuel we've taken on board, and fuel weighs X amount. So I can calculate that pretty much down to the gram. You take an average of the passengers on board, which used to be 78 kilos. The average passenger weight's 78. I don't know what they weigh now. I know it's gone up because of lard asses like me.
That's
harsh, mate.
Yeah, steady on.
It's gone up. It's up in the 80s now. You assume everyone weighs that.
Yeah, okay.
Unless you have reason not to. If you're operating small aircraft, like if you're on a 20-passenger aircraft, then it's not unusual. And the guys up north, anyone watching this from up north will verify. They actually get you to stand on the bathroom scales before you get on the plane.
Really?
Yeah. And I have to say, we were moving the one of the, let's say, Pacific rugby teams.
Yeah.
And we had to adjust our weight balance, and that was that's on an A330. Like, we're talking serious sizes here. So it can be an issue. And then you also get a loading chart of not only how much you've got on board, but where it's positioned, because you have what's called the center of gravity effectively on the plane, and that's a pivot point. So you've got it depends on where that weight is as to how much leverage or arm it's got and is going to impact the aircraft. Jeez. And there are many an aircraft accident has occurred because they've misloaded the freight, and you can't pull back far enough on the control column to get the plane airborne because the weight is too far forward of the center of gravity.
So be mindful of that next time you take your bullion in your carry-on, guys.
Yeah, particularly if you're flying on a Piper Lance.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, it's a very long... I mean, it only seats 6 people or 8 people. I can't remember now. But it's a very long aircraft, and the loading lockers are at the front. So you put it up at the front there, and you can't get... You load it incorrectly, and you just can't get the thing off the ground.
Jeez. The more you know. We've gotten way off bullion, but
we have.
Well, to slowly bring us back around, Bianca's chimed in and says the guy in the glasses drinks a lot of water. He's on his third...
I was just gonna say I'm glad this has been brought up. I really need to dash to the bathroom. So you guys gonna be able to
Yeah, we will.
entertain each other for a
The
second?
rest of the comment is he's on his third bottle. Does he need to go to the toilet? Yes.
100%.
See-
Rebel mind. I'll be back in a sec.
See you later, Matt.
We should probably start wrapping this up anyway, shouldn't we?
Possibly. Well, do you want to do that right now? Or
Oh, we lost Matt. We should at least give him the decency of coming back and saying goodbye.
All right. That's quite a good point. Well, let's try and. Does anybody have some questions directly from Michael himself? Michael, there is one question here that I want to hit you with. Dolphin Bullion Series by the Royal Australian Mint. This AppMex exclusive coin has a limited mintage of 25,000 coins
yeah.
worldwide.
I don't know if it's an AppMex exclusive. I think AppMex have commissioned it, but
Okay.
we actually have some coming in.
Well, that was the rest of the question. Did you guys get any, or did they all go to AppMex?
No, we do have some coming in. They haven't arrived yet.
Okay, all right. Do we have any rough sort of? No.
I thought they'd be here today, and they're not. So, but I'm assuming they'll be here within a week or two.
Yeah. Someone's chimed in. Boone Nathan has chimed in, say, yeah. I saw him loosening his belt for a bit as well, and I saw that happening. I was like, it was like a train wreck. I was like,
where's
where's
the wriggles on one? Yeah.
yeah. So it's good that he can just dip out like that. Is that koala coin on the table of 2014?
I actually don't know which one it is. Hang on a
Neither
second.
do I.
We'll tell you. It is.
Yes.
Somebody has very keen eyesight, and there is a 2010 underneath it.
We're probably upsetting the boys in the store, that's for sure.
Undoubtedly.
Undoubtedly. So there's been a little bit of talk in the chat about some milk spotting on 2021. I think it was the rectangular dragons.
Okay. We also need to come back to EEs because there's something on there. It says, yes, Connor, my question about platinum travelling.
Ooh.
But what was your question? And I'll answer that one while you're looking for the other one.
It was just a conversation has been happening in the chat about milk spotting on 2021 coins. So milk spotting, when does it start occurring, and what generally is the catalyst?
Well, it depends which milk spotting we're talking about. There are a number of reasons. Usually it's some form of impurity that it's been exposed to in some form. Usually in traditional milk spotting, it's because the coin hasn't been cleaned properly by the manufacturer. So I want to clarify, I don't encourage people to clean coins, but in the process of manufacturing, they have to be washed, and sometimes the washing isn't done properly or sufficiently, and then later on down the track, you get this milk spotting. Milk spotting, what we call milk spotting these days is not what we traditionally called it. These days it can be anything that gives that white effect, which could be something that has been exposed to in the atmosphere. It could be caused, and quite often is caused, by the PVC in a capsule, if an incorrect capsule has been used, or somebody's handled something, so they've handled the capsule at some point, like the inside of the capsule, and that's been exposed to the coin and the gas that's around it. Feel better, mate? Yeah. So, yeah, it can be many reasons. Some coins seem more prone to it. So, this year's kangaroo, I think, is... Look at the smile on his face.
Yeah.
I think this year's kangaroo is a little bit prone to milk spotting, isn't it?
Which is weird. I felt like that was ancient history on the kangaroos. It certainly is on the maples. I haven't seen any more issues since the whole mint shield technology was implemented. I think that was 2018 or thereabouts.
Yeah, something
17,
like that.
18.
Yeah.
But I wonder, I was thinking about that. Like, I wonder what causes that, because they arrive, it's something that I've seen happen over time, over an extended period of time. But when they turn up to us the same year with milk spots, I wonder what causes that in terms of, like, is it something during the production process or during the packaging process? Is it climate related, or?
I'd say it's more in the, as somebody, Kane says there, I heard it was something in the washing process. I think that's...
okay, yeah.
I don't know if, like, for example, Perth Mint in the kangaroo, maybe they've changed chemicals, maybe they've changed processes, but it seems to be something in that washing process that we seem to come back to.
Yeah.
Whether that's fact or not, I don't know. I can't tell you. But
Well,
yeah.
we should they should have a chit chat with Canada,
Just, yeah, well, but the thing is with I I don't want to bang on about this too much, but with the kangaroo, it's a cheap and cheerful. So yeah, okay, they can go for the process that Royal Canadian Mint does with their maple, but
Yeah.
the maple is dearer than the kangaroo for a reason. It's because it has higher processing costs. So do we want the kangaroo to be dearer so it doesn't milk spot? Because Perth Mint's argument will be, it's not a collector coin; it's a 1 ounce lump of metal for stacking.
Do you think then, would it be inconceivable that the Perth Mint would consider producing a 1 ounce cast bar for silver? Would that not be a potential solve to that problem? So they do the cast gold.
But it's not on that I'm aware of. It's not on their horizon.
Yeah.
They've steered away from that, and I can't see them introducing it in a heck of a hurry. I don't think they have the capacity to.
Well, if they did, they could price that at the kangaroo price, because you've always commented on how comparatively cheap it is, and then, sort out the milk spotting.
Yeah, but it's cheap because it's a very automated process, and I don't know if cast bars can be that automated to that degree, because it's literally just punched out. Constantly. It's fed in at one end and they just spit out kangaroos at the other.
Yeah.
Whereas casting, you're pouring granules in at one end and it's got to be heated and it's got to be poured and it's got to be, stamped and it's got to be this and it's got to be that and it's got to be the other.
Yeah, but isn't that the process as well? Because they do the blanks there as well. So they've got to produce
but the whole process, there's a complete difference between putting in already made blanks and actually
do the Perth
having
Mint not produce the blanks themselves?
Actually, I can't stand by that. I don't know.
Surely they would.
Surely they might.
Surely they might. You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. Well, that'd be interesting. We'll have to find out.
Yeah,
when we go on a trip over to Perth.
Yeah, well, you're there for the Perth Ander. Knock on their door, mate. It's only a couple of blocks away.
Maybe I'll break out my BN purples and say, can I go behind the scenes, please? I need to find out what the story is with your blanks.
Could probably tee it up,
I might have to extend out my trip to Perth.
Yeah, I have to have a yarn.
People in the chat are saying mint shields apparently is a good thing to combat milk spots.
Yeah,
what's a mint shield?
What is a mint shield? That's what the Canadian Mint refer to as their. It's because
their secrets. Well, I was going to say secret sauce. It's not actually a sauce,
Yeah.
but it's their secret process that they do to stop the milk problem that they had.
And Perth should have, if Perth did want to get into that, they should have a chat with them first. Because did you know? I think I've addressed this before in my fun facts.
But you should do it again.
The Royal Australian Mint found themselves in hot water for, without permission, implementing the Royal Canadian Mint's process of applying colour to coins with the 2012 red poppy. There was actually a lawsuit regarding that, in which the Royal Canadian Mint requested that all red poppy coins, all 500,000 of them, were returned to Canada for destruction for using their intellectual property without the correct permissions.
I would have loved to have seen that law case.
I think that it's an interesting request, particularly if it had have been granted. I don't know how you would go about getting all of those coins back.
But can you imagine being any of the management in the Royal Australian Mint opening that letter up? Like, your eyes would be out on stalks. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah. You'd be saying, hey guys, you know that long service leave? I'm going to tap into that right about now.
We have a question from Pi. Do you have any 1 gram maple leaf coins, and what do you think about them? Well, firstly, we do have those. There's a video right here in this link in the chat. Go check it out. And in that link, in that video, you'll see a bit of a display of the products and a closer up view. But we also have a listing in that video. If you look in the description, you will see the actual product listings, and I've also just put those in the live chat for you there as well. What do you think about the 1 grams, Michael?
I love them. Matt?
I think I said this to you the other day, Connor, and this was not even recorded, so you know it was true. I said I love them. I think they've done an incredible job at getting. It's not, and as you'll see in some other coins, the smaller you get, they can sometimes take a bit more of a what's the word? A little bit of artistic license in shrinking down the design, and so I think a great example of that is the 0.5 gram kangaroos that the Perth Mint produce.
Yeah.
It's a really, really rudimentary depiction of a kangaroo. And I always thought they would say it's out of necessity, and I always assumed that you couldn't get a great amount of detail on a small planchet, particularly one that small. But the Royal Canadian Mint have proven that wrong. It is the full, if you look at that under a magnifying glass, it is the full maple design with the radial lines and all that jazz. It's all there, and they look really good.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I totally agree. I'm on record saying that I'm amazed with the panda, the Chinese panda, how well they shrink it down to the 1 gram, and it's world leading. I think I'm changing my opinion. I think the Canadian Mint has it. They do it equal to the Chinese, or I would actually argue slightly better.
Yeah.
They really do manage to get that maple leaf and all its security details and all that sort of stuff down onto a tiny little 1 gram coin. I think it's great. So yeah, the short answer is love them.
Just jumping back a little bit to the whether or not the Perth Mint does their own blanks. There we go. We've got
timber industry too long, mate.
yeah. Fanta, Cane, and
someone else.
Someone else. I'm sorry, I've missed your name, but they are saying yes that they do their own blanks, and they sell some of them to the US and Singapore and places
Actually,
like that as well.
I did know that they sold them to the US.
You knew that, did you?
Yeah.
After someone told you?
Now he knows it. Yeah, after
I
it's
didn't
been
know the
confirmed.
Singapore part, but I did know the US part. So whatever.
Either way, I still want to get behind the scenes.
Yeah, I think it's worth a trip over there.
I agree.
We can do a meet and greet in Perth.
Yeah. We got a busy next 3 months coming up. Sydney, Melbourne, and Perth, huh?
Yeah.
And Hobart.
Oh, looking forward to that. That'll be fun.
Love Hobart in winter.
Yeah.
Hobart
Actually,
in general, Tassie in general.
Yeah.
It's incredible. I love it.
Especially the architecture of the buildings. But we are not an architecture channel. Is there anything else that we wanted to go over on this stream? Is there anything worth bringing up and chatting about?
I think we've gone over time enough.
Oh, yeah. Because go home.
I can't see the time because my computer shut down.
It's
but
20 past 4.
I was going to say, I'm seeing 4 something over there, and it doesn't look like 4:01 from here. So I think we've well and truly blown the time.
Thanks for sticking around, everyone. Didn't realise how long we'd gone on.
You want a fun fact? Here's an interesting fun fact. And I'm kind of half plugging things as well. So we're coming to Sydney, in case you hadn't guessed, for the Australian Gold Conference on the 14th and 15th of next month. We're also doing a meet and greet on the 13th. Be there, get yourself a ticket, and a free ounce of silver. The tickets that are being sold for the conference, not our tickets, but the tickets for the conference.
Yeah.
Once you've finished with them, don't throw them in the bin because you can take them home, and if you put them out on the dirt, they will grow plants. They've impregnated them with seeds. Now, I can't get, and I'm going to crack up if Kerry's watching this, because Kerry says they're herbs, but I couldn't get out of her if they were herbs or herbs. So
they are kitchen food grade herbs.
So yeah, there you go. They are herbs. So come to the conference, you will get a herb bonus as well.
Yeah, all right, nice one.
All right, well, thank you, everybody, for tuning in and sticking around for so long. We absolutely really appreciate everybody who's here. We'd also like to just point out while we're here, thank you to our existing audience who's been so kind to a lot of the new names that we've been seeing pop up in the chat. We really appreciate how kind you guys are to each other and welcoming in some of the new Bullion Now viewers. We really appreciate it. And if anyone is out there and they're unsure if they want to comment in the live streams or comment on the videos, go crazy. Feel free. Get comfortable. We're all a nice bunch around here. And if you have any questions, hit us with them. We love them.
Fanta, you crack me up, mate. We'd be crazy not to go now.
Final thing before we go, while we're in Sydney, we are doing a live meet and greet. So if you want to come along to that, tickets are $30. But for your $30, you get an ounce of silver. The link is in the description right there, so check it out on out. We are really looking forward to having a big chat with some people. Also, if you want to find out when our next live stream is, the best way to do that is to follow our Twitter account. The link is in the chat as well. We'll be posting there whenever we go live, so thank you very much.
Starting to stutter.
Down to a fine point, a fine art, in fact.
Is there anything else we want to get out or promote?
That's it. We've got a TikTok. Thanks,
no.
EDC. Thanks, Emma.
Yeah.
Thanks, Sylvia. You weren't here this week. Still love you.
And
Bailey, you do a great job as well.
It's not only that you don't come along just for the free ounce of silver, Connor. You get to hang out with us.
Exactly.
It's the
Yes.
$30 is to hang out with us. The silver's a minor thing.
Exactly.
You get to
That's a peripheral thing.
hang out with the boys in purple.
Absolutely, yeah.
Well, since everyone's been hanging out with us for 2 hours, we think we might end it there. We might wrap it up there. Thank you,
Sounds good.
everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
See ya.
See ya.